Hey there, Betting Nation. Good morning. How the devil are you? Sorry, it's a little bit late. This later back today. The reason being 10:54, and the reason being is because my wife went out last night and didn't get back in until 3 a.m. The dirty little stop out. So guess who was looking after all the kids this morning? I'm kids out. I'm not really, because I'm spending the whole day with them today. Yeah, we've been playing. Anyway, we've been doing loads of stuff. Been watching Coco. If anybody haven't watched Coco, if you've got kids and you haven't watched Coco, watch Coco. It's blooming brilliant. Even I was like, mind you, I love cartoons. Right, okay, so yesterday we had a later back, was it later back on this? Yeah, I believe it was a later back on the YouTube channel. That was a lovely one. Never ever got in the race. Perfect later back for me, and just exactly what you want to happen. Today, we have another later back buy. By the way, listen to the podcast. Today's bet lay is exactly the same on the podcast, but yesterday's we had four altogether, and we had three successful. We had two successful later backs and one successful back to lay. But overall, we was in profit for the day, which was a nice feeling. And they also listen to the podcast as well for football, because we've been having a good little run recently as well. So that is lovely, jubbly. Right. So Ferretti. This is the one, and I know what you're thinking, Dean, it's 8-11, what are you doing? You're killing us, especially when I don't do a stop loss as well. So I'm just going, normally my exposure, my liability, £300. On this occasion, I am going, sorry, it's normally £500. On this occasion, I'm going £300. Just purely, the reason why is I'm a little bit worried about the quality of this sort of race. It's not a good race. However, if you do look at here, we've done average decrease. Show me horses at average decrease for 20%, and sorry, 20%, basically 20% below. So show me horses that haven't decreased by more than 20%, and we've gone filter, and here we go. Boom! We've got this. We've got all the information we need here, and as you can see here, 9.4 down to 8, 2.78 down to 2.74, 5.2 down to 2.94. But look at that, took closer order, held up in touch, switch right, and it had gone up first of all before it went down. Anyway, so here 9.6 down to 8.6, 17.5 down to 13.5. The lowest this horse has been in running is it's decreased 35 ticks, and the lowest it's gone from a Betfair SP to the in-play low is 43%, which is phenomenal out of 5 runs. Still a maiden as well, especially being an Aidan O'Brien horse. Just can't seem to find an opening for this horse. And I always say, if there's one thing you listen to me here. But this is another thing where I do think that this is something you should always do, is challenge the obvious. Challenge the obvious, because the majority of the people in the market will be going with the obvious. And if you can challenge the obvious, if you can be, you've got to be different. You've got to do something different than the other lemmings, because was it 98? I don't know the exact percentage, but it's a lot. It's 98 or 97%. Anyway, there's loads of different things out there, but most people lose gambling. So why do you want to do what most people do? You've got to behave and act differently and look for different things. So how I always start, first of all, is challenging the obvious, because everybody else will be looking at ways to back the favourite or to be with a favourite. So I want to challenge the obvious. And don't get me wrong, if I found in the day when I was a professional gambler, when I was gambling after I saw my bookies, if I saw an odds-on shot that I thought was value, I would think nothing of having a few £1,000 on it, because it was value. If there's value can be whatever price. A 1 to 10 shot can be value. And I'm nothing against. I'm not only people who say don't back under a 2 to 1 shot. That's just absolute bollocks, absolute ridiculous. What? So if I was against a race against Linford Christie, you're saying that I was 7 to 4. Sorry, Linford Christie was 7 to 4. You won't back Linford Christie? Of course you would. It's ridiculous. Or don't back odds on. Linford Christie should be 1 million to 1 on. Even 1 to 100 on in that race is value. But I know it's the extreme analogy, but hopefully it does sell you a little point, because there's always value in everything in life. A 1 to 100 shot can be value. And so just don't be driven by the price. That's what I'm trying to say. Long-winded way about it, but don't be driven by the price, because there's value in all sorts of different prices. Here, 1.81. Now, the question is this value? This is a question most people are asking. Is this value to win the race? But we're asking a completely different question, because we don't care if this horse is valued to win the race. All we're bothered about is, will this horse go up or will this horse go down in price? And if it does go down in price eventually, will it go up in price first of all? So if it goes down to 1.01 and wins the race, will it have gone up previously? And so what we need to do, that's all we need to do. We need to simplify this, because it is a really, really simple method. It is back into lay or lay into back. And I think it's the reason why I'm so passionate about this now is I think it's so underutilized. I think it's a fantastic tool for anybody, if you've got the data, then anybody can literally improve a betting. I won't say make money, because I don't want to say that everybody can make money, but you can certainly improve your betting by doing and utilizing this strategy, because all we're interested in is how the horse runs, basically, and the price doesn't really affect us, because it doesn't, well, it does affect us, but it doesn't really matter if this horse wins. When I say the price doesn't affect us, I mean the perceived probability of a horse winning. It's irrelevant to us if a horse wins or loses. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's get onto this horse. So I can't show you this. Well, I can show you this race, but the problem is with this race is the camera angles. You can't. It's in the distance. You can't. You're really homing in to find out which horse it is, and it's by the time you figure it out, a lot of a race has gone, and so it's not a particularly good race for me to show you an example. This race is a better example here. So I've got it all ready for you guys. Excuse me. Here we go. Drawn in stall 7. There it is. So it leaves the stalls, nothing wrong with that at all. Leaves the stalls, just gets taken aback because it's a bit too free, as you can see there. No problems, no issues at the minute. I'm not too worried. I'd be a little bit worried that now, but it's been. You're not too worried if it happens for maybe 5 or 10 strides. You are happy. You are unhappy if it happens for longer than that. And if you look at the jockey, he's pulling the horse back. He's sat on his hinds as well. Is the jockey's his weight distribution is further back. This sounds like I know what I'm on about with horse riding. I definitely don't. But all I can say is that what influences the market through years and years and years, the fact that all his weight distribution is further back, and he's just trying to hold the horse up. Now there's some more telltale signs as well coming up. Look, he's never happy. Never happy. I know it's 3 furlongs from home, but look at the horse's head carriage as well. Every other horse is under the pump, I know that. But look at the horse. He's pushing it along round the back of his neck there. My eyeballs popped out then, didn't they? Look, it's like, come on, boy. Look, his head's up in the air. He doesn't really want to put it in. He's like, no, I'm not so sure about this. Look, and the jockey's not actually whipping. If you check there, the jockey's not actually whipping it. The jockey's just showing the horse its whip, because he doesn't really want to whip it and give it a bad experience. He don't want to really lay into it. So he's just showing the horse, hey, look, this is what I've got, buddy. If you don't start bloody reacting to me, you will get this in the back hind. And by the way, for all you horse lovers out there, for these whips, you could hit me as hard as you possibly want on the hand with it. It doesn't hurt. It does not hurt these new. They're not new anymore. But just so you know, but when I say when I'm saying that the jockey's threatening to use the whip, it doesn't hurt the horse one little bit. Right? He's almost hitting him in the face with it. Look, there he goes, slapping it. Like, just not really interested. I would not want to be backing this horse at 1.81. I'm not saying it can't win at all, because I haven't really delved deeper in the opposition, but let's take another look. Let's take a look. Right, look. All I'm saying is that if I'm backing a 1.81, I want to know this horse is straightforward. And this horse is not straightforward one little bit. So, yeah, you need everything in your favour, don't you, if you're backing odds on. You want to make sure that everything is in your favour. Let's just have another look. I love watching this race. I think you can learn so much from it. The jockey's just not ever completely happy. As soon as he comes on the bend, because you don't want to unbalance a horse, you don't want to push it along round the bend, because that will unbalance a juvenile, especially one like this. Look, it's just on the heels. They didn't know whether to go inside or outside. As soon as he starts getting to where, there's his head. Look, there's his head. You can almost see it. Like, as soon as the jockey gets more physical with it, the head straight away goes up. This horse has got talent. There's no doubt about it. This horse has got talent, but just doesn't, for whatever reason, does not put it all in. Look, it just must be so frustrating for the jockey, because he wants to pick him up and just carry him. The fact that, look, these colours actually won the race. The fact that these colours won the race, and that is the first colours, tells you at home, when they don't get stuck into the horse, because at home, obviously they don't go, actually I want to show you something else, they don't actually get stuck into the horse as much, and so they don't actually know what to find. And so you can tell that through the homework, that horse is their number one. That horse is the one that they expect to win. But until you get to the racetrack, you never ever, sorry, my watch keeps bipping. So yeah, you don't really know what a horse is going to find. You don't really know how it's going to react to the pressure, and that's why they thought that was number one, and the other one was number two or number four, whatever it was, and the other one actually won the race. So at home, it's showing more than that one, right? So I don't want to bore you guys too much. I want to show you, because I just want you guys to know that I have done the homework, because somebody was shouting, Dean, his last form is working out really, really well. I know, look at this, Wargrave. So last time out, beat Basic Law there, came fourth there in a £27,000 race, went to a 99 rating. Basic Law, what did this one do then? Basic Law won at 5-4, was rated 87, exactly the same as that run. So I expected to do that. National Guard won, rated 86 from 79. So the form is working out really, really well of this horse. He came fifth there. This is the last time out run. However, I'm not interested if a horse wins or not. What we're interested in is if a horse goes up in price. And I really do believe that the way every single bit of information that we've got to our fingertips tells you that this horse will go up in price before it goes out in price. So what I'm doing is I'm laying to back, and I'm going for 30 to 50% profit. Now I'm going for a £300 liability. Normally it's £500 liability, but for today it's a £300 liability. Alright, Betting Nation, so there is my in-play trade for you guys today. Don't forget, tomorrow we are back again. Because I really, as you can tell, I genuinely enjoy doing this. I kind of lose myself, and it's almost like meditating for me, because I don't think about anything else other than talking to you guys and going through exactly what sort of police sign contract. I got caught speeding, didn't I? I've been caught speeding for 6 years. No, not even that. More than that. I got caught bloody speeding. It was in the wife's car as well. So I tried to blame the wife. She wasn't taking any of it. I said, Claire, it's more important that I drive than you. And she's like, Dean, no, you got to do it up when you've done something wrong. I'm like, I was going like 30, I think it was 36 and a 30. Which, by the way, I do think is bad, because I speed on the motorway. I speed in 70 mile an hour on roads, but never in 30s, because I've got kids and stuff. I think that's pretty bad. And by the way, where I got caught speeding, it was a 30 mile an hour zone, but it was on the Westwood, which basically near the racecourse. If anyone knows Beverley, there's no buildings around it whatsoever. It was just before the 40 mile an hour zone, and even that is too bloody slow on that road. Anyway, I don't know why. I feel I need to explain myself to you to let you know that I'm not a douche. All right, Betting Nation. Have a wonderful day, and I will speak to you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is DMB signing off.